Good afternoon, traders. We are halfway through the month of April. This is 2021. It's April 15th. This has been a very unusual and interesting month, to say the least. Things are just not happening the way that I've seen throughout the year. Occasionally, we do get these drawdowns in individual stocks, but I've just noticed some things that are, making me shake my head for sure. But also, I want to dig deeper and see if I can find some type of a signal to let me know, hey, look, this is not a good time to be trading individual stocks right now, because I've been doing the same exact thing for about 5 or 6 months now. Last month, I had the best month ever. Trading this plan and this strategy, I came away with about 10.5% of a gain on the account. Trading very low risk, only 10% of my account on each trade. So that's pretty huge. And then this month, I'm down about 5.7% now, I believe it is, doing the exact same thing again. No changes whatsoever. If any changes, I'm getting stricter and more careful. Yet I'm not making, I'm making less money than or actually losing money this month. So what's going on? The thing that's the most obvious is the top gainers list. If you see the number one stock, it's only up 23%. For the one day, it's only up. It was about 33% a second ago. It's up 38% now. That's extremely low. The day's almost over. Usually, we see stocks that are in the hundreds or thousands of percent. At least one of them, if not the top three, moving crazy like that. Here's the interesting thing: is that all the indices are up, making all-time highs or coming back to all-time highs. Here's the Dow Jones Industrial Average from April 1st till now, making all-time highs. The SPY, which follows the S&P 500, making all-time highs since April 1st. The NASDAQ, not quite the same story, but still, if you just look at from April, it's been trending up. Here's the all-time highs. It's coming back to them, but April has been a great month for the NASDAQ overall. But individual stocks are just not doing well this month. So you can't make a correlation between the overall market and individual stocks, obviously. So what are we doing? We're going to be tracking, and actually started on Tuesday, tracking the volume of the first 1 minute candle of the pre-market. I trade the pre-market from 4 to 4:30 a.m. That's where I've been most profitable. In fact, every single month that I've been doing that for the past 5 or 6 months now, I've been profitable by the end of the month during the pre-market every single time. This is the first month ever where it's only halfway through the month, but obviously I'm red during the pre-market. So hopefully we can find out why. We can find some reason and some correlation. So right now I only have 2 days. I need to record about 100 days of this at least for this data to mean anything at all. But right now what I'm doing, the plan is to look at the volume of the 401 candle. So basically the candle that forms between 4 a.m. and 4:01, that's when the pre-market trading begins. And you could see on Tuesday there was 11.3 thousand shares traded on the highest volume stock, not necessarily the top gainer, but whatever the highest volume stock is, that's the one I'm looking at for this data. And then on the next day, and I had a green day that day, and then on the next day there was 13,000 shares on that, and I had a red day. So right now that data doesn't mean anything, obviously, but let's say over 100 days that I track this data and I start to find out that, hey, when we're over 15,000 shares, whatever it may be, there's a 90% chance that I end up green. And when we're under 15,000 shares, there is only a 30% chance that I end up green, something to that effect. Then that will give me a signal. If I don't see 15,000 shares or more traded by 401, then I know not to take any trades. And I would just continue to track this. So if things start to change because maybe there's more traders coming in, whatever, I can continue this as a running data stream that I collect. And I'll know whether or not I should be taking a trade right after the first 1 minute candle without actually entering a trade. That way I don't have to get stopped out. Not to say that I'm never going to get stopped out or never going to have a red trade, but this should increase the probability of having winning trades, because so far this month my win rate is only 20%, which is pretty bad. And with the 2-hour trading, you need at least 33% to break even, theoretically. In March, I only had a 55% win rate, yet I increased my account size by 10.5%, just day trading only. So you don't need much, but you need something. And so that's the idea. So let me know what you think. And I also am sharing this information, of course, on my Facebook trading group. I made a post about it here. So if you're not a member, you might want to become a member if you're interested in trading using actual data data and not just holding and hoping or jumping into random trades or trading off of hype or whatever you see on Wall Street bets, etc., etc. So anyway, let me know what you guys think. And I haven't, like I said, I slept in today, so there was no trading this morning. And I'll just show you that just so you know. Oh, and here's my results for the month so far. The data is slightly different on Webull. It's always off a little bit. I'm not sure why. I have 5.7%. They're showing 5.9, but close enough. And same thing for March. March is off slightly, but there's a reason behind that. I have 10.4%. They've got 10.2% basically. This is just due to some free stocks that I received. So anyway, and just to show you that today I didn't take any trades. I'm not trying to hide like some crazy YOLO trade that I did or anything like that. This is today's orders, March 15th. Filled orders, there's nothing. Canceled orders, there's nothing. So anyway, and you can see the daily P&L is 0. So we'll see what happens with this data, and I'll keep everybody updated and posted. And for the meantime, I'm going to keep doing the same thing I've been doing and just collecting data along the way, because I know that eventually the volume is going to come back. I've seen this happen before, and usually about 1 to 2 weeks is what it lasts, and then volume and energy comes back in and things start to move back up. So you got to be ready and just, I think, trade the same way every day until I know more about these signals. And so we can anticipate the volume coming back in the market. I may take a trade, an experimental trade, so to just be one share, a test trade, up to 3 of those at the aftermarket today if there's anything. But even the aftermarket has been dead. Look at after hours, top gainer, 12%. A couple of days ago, there was some action, so we'll see what happens today. And if I do take any trades and they're interesting, I will upload them. But again, it's just going to be test trading, so one share. All right, so let me know if you have any questions about this. If you are still trading in these crazy choppy markets, just be careful. Make sure no matter what that you always take your stop losses. That is the number one thing. And you can see that even with all these times I've been stopped out, I'm still only down about half of what I made last month. So we're doing a good job of protecting, and I'm trading with more money. So actually I'm doing maybe even slightly better in some regard, because if I was trading the exact same amount of money, I would probably be down a smaller percentage. So anyway, yeah, just protect your capital. Take your stop losses no matter what. These are all best setups that I'm taking, and you can see how often they're failing this month. So just because it's a best setup doesn't mean that if it hits your stop, you say, oh, you know what, this is the best setup ever. I'm going to just hold and hope. I know this is a fake stop out, and I'm just going to hold and wait till it comes back. There's no guarantee of that. So the best thing to do is to just take your stop losses and come back the next day or the next trade or whatever it may be. So take care, and let me know if you have any questions, and maybe I'll see you in the aftermarket.